Come with me to a concentrated Europe, a place of ancient Roman palaces and medieval fortresses, a place of unparalleled natural beauty. Croatian Adventure with Klis Terzic. We start our adventure in the city of Split, a spectacular city hugging the azure Adriatic coast. The heart of Split is Diocletian Palace, a 1700-year-old UNESCO World Heritage Site and a very popular destination for cruise ships and European tourists. To see this treasure without the crowds, I recommend an early morning visit. Diocletian was the only Roman emperor to voluntarily abdicate. He built this palace as his retirement home near where he was born. Here you can marvel at remarkably intact architecture and artifacts dating back to ancient Egypt. The Oratorium is a spectacular round, open-domed structure where Diocletian waxed philosophic. The acoustics are amazing, as you'll hear later. The final resting place for Diocletian is now a shrine for the Virgin Mary, and ironically, St. Domnius Cathedral was built over it. Ironic because Diocletian was a brutal persecutor of early Christians. The grounds around the palace invite hours of walking with numerous shops, museums, and gardens. Dominating the palace area is the cathedral bell tower. Watch your head as you go up the steep and winding staircase to the top. A bit unnerving for those afraid of heights, but well worth it. Bring your camera for some great views of the entire city. Croatia is a place of dancing, singing, and music. Several times a day, the echoes of Diocletian are cast away by the joyful singing of traditional Croatian tunes. I strongly recommend staying in Split for more than a half a day during a cruise. Stay for a while, there is much to see and do. We'll be back to show more later. Now we're heading southeast along the picturesque Adriatic coastline dotted with postcard-perfect villages and cobalt blue coves to the ancient city of Dubrovnik, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. Dubrovnik is a walled city built to keep out the Turks, who invaded Croatia and much of Eastern Europe several times over the centuries. The Croatians and later the Venetians basically paid off the Turks to leave them alone and lived their lives protected inside. The Adriatic dramatically interacts with the walled city, so much so that many will recognize these sites, which were used in the TV series Game of Thrones, which perfectly suits King's Landing and other locales of the fictional medieval story. Dubrovnik is very popular in the summer with tourists everywhere. There are plenty of quiet side alleys with quaint restaurants and shops to get a respite. The popular wall around the city affords wonderful views of the ancient city and surrounding area. It can take around an hour to make a leisurely walk around the entire wall and is well worth the fee of about $20 US. On another day trip from our home base of Split, we head north this time to Plitvice National Park. Yet another UNESCO World Heritage Site and something entirely different from the Roman and medieval castle settings of Split and Dubrovnik. Plitvice National Park consists of several lakes with dividing waterfalls that have been formed over the centuries due to the unique karst geography of the area and an interaction with limestone, groundwater, plants, and water chemistry. The formation of these travertine steps over time have created what can only be described as a magical place of water and earth. No computer-generated visuals or Instagram apps needed. Now it's back to just outside of our home base of Split to the ancient city of Salona. Started in Greek times, then built into the Roman capital of Dalmatia, with an estimated 60,000 inhabitants at its prime, most of the ancient city is buried under modern-day Solin. Fortunately, there are still examples of Roman and early Christian architecture preserved in a central complex that is well worth it. Intricate carving and amazing craftsmanship are evident throughout and almost become ordinary after a while. A few minutes from Solin is the medieval fortress of Klis, built during Venetian times, occupied by the Turks, and accessible by a road originally built by Napoleon. This is yet another filming location for Game of Thrones. About 45 minutes to the east of Split is the small village of Grab, another picture postcard locale typical of rural Croatia. With its arched bridges, crystalline creek, and 700-year-old still operating flour mill, this is a wonderful spot for a day trip by car from Split. If you want the best of Europe in one safe and friendly country, from rich cultural heritage sites to remarkable natural beauty and an abiding peacefulness, Croatia should be your next destination. See you next time on Adventure with Chris Terzic.